moving it along, it was just something else I had gotten from, and I'll make this really quick, from the workshop that I had run, and it was really, really good educational wise, because it went way beyond the typical grievances that we may have, as being union people, community people, and so forth and so on, and the demands were very high. So I'm really looking forward to the kind of actions that people talked about that came out of their workshops, because that's going to really be the seed that's going to be planted for our next meeting, or however way we want to deal with this, going to Washington, to march on Washington, and to get the word out. Our next speaker is Cheri Honkala. And Cheri is the Poor People's Economic Human Rights Campaign. Cheri, do it.
Okay, I'll make this quick, but first of all, I want to thank all of you. I know many of you, you're getting younger as the years go on, but you all do amazing work, and so it's good to see you. Good to know that none of you are in the penitentiary or doing hard time yet. This is good. It's always a positive thing. So, my name is Cheri Honkala, and I'm from the Poor People's Economic Human Rights Campaign. Some of you might know of, what I did in my spare time last year is I ran for vice president on the Green Party ticket. And why am I in a room with folks from organized labor? I've been trying to fight for years to get in the room with organized labor. The economy's helping me explain, not to you folks, but other folks in organized labor, why we should have always been in the same room together. It's interesting how I have a sister who brought the union to her hospital, a member of SEIU, worked at the hospital for 20-some years. She was one of the millions of folks lost her home to foreclosure. Then once she lost her home to foreclosure, the strain in the family, she ended up getting a divorce. She tried over and over again to bring the issues of foreclosure and poverty to her union, and her union kept telling her, well, issues of foreclosure and these kinds of things are not labor issues. And so we know the end of the story. She ends up losing the house, she ends up losing the husband, and then we end up losing her to drugs. And this is the story of, we know, another million folks that are going to enter those same ranks this year, not to mention our students in this country who their debt crisis is going to make the housing crisis look like nothing, and the list can go on. So, people said, so what are you guys doing about all this stuff? Well, we want to be invited to as many places as possible. You see, we have a fine resume, now with over 200 some arrests, fighting for justice in this country. It's incredibly important that we really begin to, prepare or continue to prepare our rank and file members that are out there to really, turn up the street heat because the conditions that are out there are just absolutely devastating. People would think, after I've been in this work for some 25 years, things got to be going okay or something. No, I've managed to get myself on the list of one of 13 organizers doing human rights in this country that are in most danger in the U.S. right now. And it's a very serious time to be doing organizing. And so you know, in these 25 years, the kind of devastation that's out there, there's really no word for it. One would think that since, you know, I have at least 500,000 friends, at least they pulled the lever for me, that I would be doing just fine. And the reality is that there's pretty much nobody that I know now that's going at least 3 or 4 days a week. Myself on several occasions where we have no idea what it is that we're going to eat. And so we've started to teach people around the country. We're known for our teaching people how to do tent cities and housing takeovers and all of those kinds of things. But now we've been in the business of teaching people how to reclaim vacant land. And so we're taking land, and in Kensington, you know, you have to still use your imagination because we're not there yet. Even though I'm just in walking distances to the food bank where there's barbed wire around it, and I live in one of the highest congressional districts in the country for hunger. We beat out areas of Mississippi and the Bronx and Los Angeles in terms of hunger, that we wouldn't have a hunger problem. So now we're teaching people how to take land, we're growing our own damn food, and we're preparing for land wars around being able to eat and being able to feed our kids. So I just want to let you know that prior to the Poor People's March and the anniversary coming up in August, we want to extend an invitation to all of you on May 18th. We are taking all of the folks that are being impacted by the sequester and people that care about the crisis of needing jobs and combining it with the environmental crisis. We're going to march from our farm now this time, not to the halls of Congress. We're going to march to the real place where they make the decisions, the Chamber of Commerce. You with me? And so at the Chamber of Commerce, you know, when we show up and they have that big sign that says jobs, we intend to shut the chamber down unless it begins to help meet the needs of the American people. So we hope that you will join us. I also just want to put a plug out there. No matter what kind of organizing work that we're doing out there, if it is continually linked to you know, corporate control, it doesn't matter how progressive your ideas are. We need to support some real independent political motion in this country, and that leadership needs to come from organized labor. Thank you.